Yes, I think we're ready. I'm a little nervous, but we're literally just going to drag her over with ropes. So, it'll be an interesting day. We'll see how it all goes.
As long as you swear in German, that's fine. It's not in English, please.
Alright.
Sigue cortado. Sí, pero corta con corta allí.
I'm back on board. I'm so excited to be back, and I got very good news. As soon as I got back, I went to customs, and I now have a certificate of navigation, so Chuffed can leave the marina. Now, as you guys know, I won't be able to start sailing properly until I replace the shaft seal, which has not leaked since I've been gone with all the plastic bags tied around the outside, but yes, it will be a task. So this week's episode will be a lot of maintenance as always, and hopefully we'll finish with my boat having a shaft seal replacement that allows me to sail again. So welcome back to Chuffed, and I'm very happy to be back, and I'm very happy that she is free, and let's get into it. I was pretty chuffed that everything had stayed pretty stable while I was away. Even the dripless shaft seal remained relatively dripless. I had a lot of unpacking to do and tidying up, and I also discovered that I had a small rodent visitor on board at some point. I can only assume he departed when he saw the scalpel blades. Otherwise, I was mentally preparing myself and physically preparing Chuffed for the big days ahead. Alright, a mix of acetone and transmission fluid to try and loosen some of these rusty bolts. Been putting it on for a few days with the idea that by the time we have to undo them all, we will be in a much better position, hopefully. As you can see, it's all pretty rusty.
So I bought a variety of things while I was back in Australia, and I've also picked up some more things like pipe or tubing and different fittings and things for doing a few boat jobs. One of the things I did get was a carbon monoxide and fire alarm, because I don't have one on the boat, and obviously a fire alarm is important, but I also was talking to an old surveyor who surveyed a lot of boats, and he also has been, I guess, called into court on a few cases of carbon monoxide poisoning on boats where a siphon effect is created. Even on sailboats he's seen it happen, even though we're not producing as much. Still worth having, so I'll be putting that up. And then the big job and the big thing is the new dripless. So this is a ERCEM, and it is a French product. It's a French boat, so I went with the same one that I've already had. And essentially it just creates a seal by this is on the shaft. This goes onto the stern tube. You can press it a little bit, and this kind of creates a seal between these two pieces so water doesn't leak. So it'll be nice to get my dripless shaft seal dripless again. Yeah, and then a few other things that we're going to look at doing, I guess, soonish, is my bilge pump doesn't work, my main big large bilge pump, so I did get a new one. This is a Jabsco one, and I'm going to install it so it'll be through deck, so it'll be still up in the cockpit like the old one, just replacing that. And I also finally got a lovely guy, got me a new salt water intake strainer after watching me repair the old one that is done okay, but it's been quite a process getting it here, but I've got that as well. So yeah, lots of little boat jobs to do. Oh, and you guys remember watching me fix those electric bilge pumps? I did end up buying, they're quite cheap, and I ended up buying a new one because I figured why risk it with ones that are old, that make noise but may not be working super well. So yeah, I think that's everything that I purchased boat-wise. I brought some medical supplies back as well, and one of the main things I brought back was actually some little teats, because we're seeing some problems in the sloths here with the development of their mouth, and we think it could be related to when they're hand raised, they're not suckling properly because we don't have the right teats for them. So I've brought back like 7 different types of really soft special teats we use in koalas and kangaroos and other marsupials in Australia. So I'm hoping we can find one that fits perfect for a sloth mouth. Believe it or not, when you research sloth nipples online, you really don't find much. So I just had to try a variety. So yes, getting prepared.
Alright, the sun is just starting to poke out amongst the mountains, and I'm just finishing up getting stern anchor ready and just making sure everything's ready, but I think we're basically ready to go. So in about half an hour at high tide, we're going to drag the boat over this way, where this dock is, and around the side of it, and beach her. There's some pretty flat ground there. Yesterday we went and checked that there was no big stones or anything on the beach, and just moved everything, so there's just little pebbles. Yeah, so I think we're ready. I'm a little nervous, but we're literally just going to drag her over with ropes. So it'll be an interesting day. We'll see how it all goes. We ran some ropes over to the other dock with Lena on a little water bicycle taking it back and forwards, before essentially pushing Chuffed back off the dock and trying to get her so that she was sideways to the dock midship, and then we pulled her nose around to the other dock so that she could enter the beach nose first. Unfortunately, this was done in direct sunlight, so both the GoPro and my iPhone switched off after only recording for a couple of minutes, so I've got very little of this on film. You'll just have to take my word for it that it was extremely nerve-wracking, kind of crazy, but it all went really well considering. It was just a lot of kind of like yelling at each other to pull one rope and let one rope slack, and yeah, drag her right over onto the beach. Once we'd made it to the beach, we tied her off hurricane style with ropes going from the stern, midship and bow on each side to hold her in place as the tide came in.
I have to introduce you guys. This is Lena and Will. You can see the level of dedication they have already in the water. And you can see how shallow it is. But we're not beached yet, but we're getting there. We've got it tied up on both sides, so hopefully we'll stay put. Alright, we're gonna jump in and just see what's under the boat before she starts sitting. Oh. I'm also going to point out at this part of the video that Will used to be a boat builder, so I'm very lucky to have him on board at the moment.
I would say this one came out.
Okay. Oh, nice.
It's some strange imperial size.
Do you think I should get new ones? Yeah.
From the outside on the propeller or on the reef.
Yeah. Yeah, at the moment it's a reef. So Will just took the two Allen bolts out of, that was holding the shaft in, so, yeah, out of there. So hopefully now we'll be able to pull it back once the tide goes out more. Is that the Allen bolts in it? Yeah, cool. Oh, that's good at least. I was worried about those as well. Both screws are out of the old shaft seal. Well, I guess out of the, what do you call that bit of it? The bearing, is it?
Pressure flange or pressure piece.
And I guess with the hose clamps, worst case, if they don't undo very nicely, we can just cut them. Right, she is out of the water. Sitting pretty. Slightly lifting to this side, but not too much. So we can get started on the shaft heel.
So it's 12:30 now, so in theory we've just lost the water and high tide's not until 2:30, so we should have roughly 4 hours to do the job, so getting there.
Are you having fun, Lena?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Oh, such a nice job.
I've found a starfish.
A starfish? Oh, well that's kind of nice. Do you throw it in the water?
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course.
Yeah. Don't save the barnacles, but save the starfish. As long as you swear in German, that's fine. It's not in English, please.
Alright.
I can beep it. Alright, and I'll take this camera outside. Alrighty. The moment of truth.
Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah, I know why. Actually, I'm going to get a pair of gloves because I have a feeling that.
Oh yeah, that'll be better.
Very nasty.
The plan essentially was to undo the old shaft seal and take all of the bolts that are holding the shaft into the coupling out, and then I would be on the outside of the boat pulling the shaft out using the propeller while Will was inside making sure it all came out smoothly. Of course though, Chuffed had some different ideas. So we spent some time with Will inside and me outside trying to figure out why we could not get the shaft to move backwards despite removing the bolts. Finally, we decided to undo the coupling, and Chuffed has a funny little French design that means that there is a bolt holding the shaft in place into the coupling. So unless you undo that coupling area of the transmission and actually pull it all apart, you cannot get the shaft out.
The French version.
Yeah.
There's a center screw,
Oh, I see.
like right in the middle. So without that one undone, it would have never come loose.
So you have to undo it, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, now we know. So next time we can. I know I've got to uncouple the whole thing. Yeah. No, I'm gonna try and make it last 20 now. No.
Yeah, we're just
All
gonna
right.
grease it up again, and then the screws can be removed more easily.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Basically, it became it started dripping because the stainless steel flange was rubbing against the hose clamp.
Okay.
So instead of the graphite seal,
Yeah.
so if you just push it out a bit,
It might have been okay for a little bit.
like another 20 years.
You reckon? I was going to say.
Not at all, but I mean that's like
Oh yeah, it's not
pretty much.
like terrible. It's probably good to keep on board just if the other one ever did have a problem, at least. I mean, I wouldn't want to use it unless I really had to, but
I
you know.
shouldn't have too many problems.
Alright, so I can push that in a lot more, and basically I'm just going to be cleaning it. Yeah, so we are 2 hours into the tide. Well, we're basically at high tide now. We were considering replacing the cutlass bearing. There is play in the shaft and it does need to be replaced, but I just feel like the risk of trying to get that out and not doing it in time is too high. So we're just going to replace the shaft seal for now. Sorry about the scraping, we're also doing the hull. And basically my plan now, looking at her, she really needs to be hauled out. As you guys can tell, she needs to be hauled out, which I can't do in Costa Rica. So basically I'm leaving all the haul out jobs to be all done at once, and they will be probably done in Mexico, so we'll see.
I began cleaning the shaft with just a mix of detergent and water to get some of the surface gunk off, before sanding it down with 600 grit sandpaper. The 600 grit's really nice because it doesn't put any scratches into the shaft itself, but leaves it really nice and smooth, which it really has to be to put the new dripless on.
Está bien. Do you mind filming for me? We'll see, it's already going. Sí, pero corta con corta allí, así yo tengo mucho, y poner ella arriba, y en 1 hora cuando yo caminando aquí, porque necesita hacer antes de mar, yo pueda sacarlo.
Pero no
Sí.
se muere, no sé.
¿Ah?
Ella no sé cómo se muere.
Sí, está bien para 1 hora. Sí.
No la amenaza con esa puerta.
Ella tiene el vuelo en la boca. It's much nicer. We want to put it on. Alright, the new one's in place. We just need to slide this on to match it with, put the coupling back on for this, and we're getting there. We're not really able to film when we're actually doing the work in here because it is just way too tight to get a camera in, but you can see what is happening. And this tube, what we're going to do, technically you're meant to hook it up to a water intake to lubricate it, but it lubricates from the outside, so this we're just going to use as an air vent to allow air to escape, so it definitely stays lubricated because I won't be going very fast. We still have a little bit to go, but I think we'll just make it, hopefully.
Putting the new shaft seal on and the coupling was actually quite difficult. It all had to be done in one smooth motion because there actually wasn't enough room to put one on at a time without popping the shaft seal off. So I had to basically wiggle the prop back and forwards while Will got it all in place, and then we had to just hope it all slid in smoothly. It took a few goes, but we got it done.
The champion of all champions, Will. The tide was like it's getting close. I was starting to get a bit nervous. Will's just doing the final job of putting the diesel pump all back together because it was leaking. Well, the hose was leaking and the little filtery bit before the pump was leaking. So, woohoo! Fancy new shaft seal and non-leaking diesel pump. Because Will is a champion. Thank you, Will.
No
Happy
worries.
birthday.
Thank you.
And then go back.
Watch the fingers, huh?
So, Lena, I'm going to get you kind of here with one hand, so maybe this hand. Then I'm going to wedge this in her mouth, and you'll have to hold it in her mouth, basically. So, you just try and pull her little head out. She's going to be strong. Just watch that finger, Lena. Just keep it above her. Just try to shine the light a little bit above my hand. Thank you. You can. I think I'm going to have to give her an anesthetic. It looks like it's way down in there. Alright. Proper anesthesia para esta tortuga.
We put the little turtle on the scales to get an accurate weight. I was then able to work out how much anesthetic she would need to be able to do surgery. I gave the injection into the vein, and I am getting better and better at finding it. Once the anesthetic had taken effect, I began searching for the hook. It was around 10 centimeters down, stuck in her esophagus. It takes quite a bit of fiddling, but eventually I was able to push the hook against the surface of her neck to make a small incision to get the barb out. It causes a lot less damage doing it this way, having a clean and sterile incision rather than just trying to pull the hook out and cause more damage.
And then, yeah. And we might just cut the string a bit shorter there, which we can do with these if you open them up. Look at that! Yay, tortuga!
My trusty assistants were helping, Lena and Will, for their first ever animal surgery, let alone turtle surgery. With the hook out, I was able to just place a couple of sutures, gave her a shot of antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, and we will keep her overnight and release her tomorrow.
They really don't bleed very much. Alright, take her over to her little barrel. Yeah.
Alright, this morning has basically, last night we finished the turtle and then we were all pretty exhausted, so had some pizza. It was Will's birthday, had some cake and pizza, had a drink, and then I crashed and went to bed. But I'm just cleaning up. We've got like stuff literally everywhere, but I'm just doing the cleanup, and then yeah, basically the plan from here is I have a few more boat jobs I need to do, and I've got some animal work coming up over the next few weeks. So gonna do boat jobs, some animal work, and I'm hoping roughly in 7 days to go for my first sail on Chuffed again for so long. But yeah, today we just need to move her to the dock, and I'll be leaving her on Robert's dock for a week just while I finalise a few boat jobs and then go from there. So hopefully very soon we'll be sailing. I'm excited, a little nervous, mainly excited. But I wanted to take this time to say a very huge big thank you for sticking around the last year while things have been a little crazy and I haven't been moving and it's probably not been as fun sailing wise and whatnot, so I really appreciate that. And an even huger thank you to everybody who's donated or become a patron over the last little while. I definitely couldn't have done this. The dripless was $600, the new bilge pump $400, just everything just adds up, and I've been really appreciative. I've had some people donate some good amounts of money here and there, and then I've also had people who've been patrons for a very long time, and yeah, all of those things just really mean a lot to me. So thank you all for sticking around. So yeah, next episode, boat jobs and animal work, and then hopefully the episode after that is sailing. So get excited and get ready for more chuffed feelings. And until then, I'm going to keep cleaning, move my boat back, and I'll see you next time. Stay chuffed, everybody. Oh wait, one more thing before you go. Let's release the turtle.
Ya chill con la tortugota. ¿Cómo vas?
Va a irse a la playa para verla caminando.
Ah, sí, un poco. Bueno, okay, listo. Sí. That's nice.
In the water.
Hello, children. Like, stop you guys.